Today, we are attempting to camp secretly, stealthily, on an urban footpath. One here in Atlanta known as the Beltline. And we will sneak into a nice little piece of woods that's right on this highly trafficked footpath. In front of us there you can see a major hospital here in Atlanta, in the Midtown area, and down there is downtown. We started at about 5:30 p.m. A lot of traffic, a lot of police presence. We're going to do a little bit of scouting and exploring and get right after it. On this rudimentary map, you'll notice these white curves. They represent cliffs that I explored long ago when my dog Escher would chase foxes and rabbits and squirrels back there. So thank you, Escher, for showing me this area so as to arouse the least amount of suspicion. We're going to go out to the field and hang out for a bit first before the sun goes down. On a stool just sitting in the middle of the field. It's still beautiful out, and it's getting a little quieter down and around here, and there's still people walking by down the trail, all that. And what we're going to do is we're just going to hang out, and then we're going to head back that way a little bit. As the sun went down, we got a little bit more footage and decided to head towards our site. But I could see better than the camera suggests. I just didn't want to put the light on or accidentally record any other people or have anyone notice I was carrying camping gear and filming. Off here to our left, off to this side, is a wooded area that I've been scouting. And that's where we're going to sneak off into in just a moment. Let's get ready to go. Part where we're scooting right off the trail. And as much as I want to be stealth, I know there might be homeless people or a lot of things back in or behind me. Not to mention snakes and other things, so I've got to be very careful. One thing is this trail, dang, listen to those motorcycles. It's crazy. This trail is well worn, which makes me think there might be visitors back in here. I'm gonna cut the light off for a while. Okay, I know you can't really see it on the video, but I'm gonna have to sneak around back here since we've got such a late start and find our site to get set up, because there are houses that can see down in here. I can see the belt line off to my left. The walking trail is still not that protected, not that secluded back here. I think I need to go further, deeper this way to get to the good coverage. But man, this is a dense forest mix I'm in. Exploring. Look at these huge trees that are down. This is crazy. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. All right, we are definitely in a cool area now. So there's houses right above there, and off to the left there's apartments off to the right, and the belt line's behind us. I walked through some kind of cloud of dust. I think it might have been like pollen or spores. I think we're gonna set up right in here, and there's even some cinder blocks we might even use for our fire, if we can get one going. But yeah, this is cool. This is cool. So I think we've made it back off the trail. It's probably at most 30 yards to the Beltline trail right there, and downtown's off to our left. I don't know how well you can see me right here, but we are back here in the woods because we're hidden behind the with the cliff behind us, like the stone face. I think we're okay with a light or two, and we're far enough off the belt line, where off the walking trail, where we won't be seen. We just have to stay kind of quiet. We can't make a ruckus back here. Right now we need to go ahead and set up our hammock tent. I found two big trees, one right here on my left and one right over here. Might be a bit too far apart, but we're gonna take out the hammock tent and see if it can stretch that span, and if that can happen, good. Otherwise we're gonna have to find a different site, but I have a few alternatives around here that I've scouted. One thing is, when you're out here, you are never that far from police sirens, train horns, motorcycles revving. We're actually a lot closer to the interstate than you'd think. It's cool to have our own little piece of woods tucked here in the middle of the city. So we are going to take a few little pieces of this landscape and clear it away from our tent area. Some for firewood. I'll show you up close. You know, you have to be very careful that's not poison oak, right? This would get you very itchy. But if you look up the tree, what it is it's English ivy, right? So to give this tree a little bit more of a healthy, longer life, I'm gonna cut some of this English ivy. Sometimes I bring an axe with me, but you see that? Just doing that right there will give this tree a little breather. Because what happens is these trees, the oak, right? I mean the English ivy, it grows up the tree and it suffocates the tree in a way where it saps all the moisture out of the tree. It steals all the water from its roots, its bark, and its leaves. Oh yeah, now this, good example of something I want to get rid of in my site. He's a thorny one. Could poke a hole in my tent, could poke a hole in my air mattress. So sorry, buddy. You are getting pruned for the night. Each of those thorns are about an inch long. Jeez Louise. One thing, as I set this up, that I want to tell you is, from time to time when I turn the camera off and the lights off, I just sit in silence and listen. And what I'm listening for in this scenario is I'm listening for people nearby, or animals, but really just people I got on their back porch, walking down the trail, and so on, because I want to make a measure of how possible it is that someone comes close. Man, that pollen cloud I stepped in got me bad. So when I was younger, I used to live in an apartment pretty close to here, and I had a dog named Escher, and Escher used to love to run back in this area, and she would chase a fox or two, and once every now and then I'd come follow her back in here. And so I knew about this little area from 10-15 years ago, and I always had it in the back of my mind, like, oh, what a cool little area, I'd love to go back over there. I don't know how well you can see that. We're gonna see this cliff in the morning, but so that's how I discovered it. So thank you, Escher, my black dog. She's gone across the Rainbow Bridge. She's in heaven. But Escher took me back here my first time. You see how there's water trickling down off the rocks? I noticed this when I was here many years ago, and I thought, how cool is that? Like, water right there seeping out of the rocks. Look at that guy, he's hanging out right there. So I'm gonna get in as close as I can. Look at him, beautiful guy. Hey buddy, not trying to bother you. And there's water dripping right off this little point above him. I don't want to disturb him, but I hope you can see him well. Look at his head moving. Yeah, go ahead and move for us. But that's a big salamander for right here. But he's living on this wall. He's found himself some permanent water. And you see all this green moss. This is also an indicator that the water is not just seasonal or when it rains in accumulation, but an actual spring. Yeah, cool dude there, huh? Oh, look at that. You can see that water. Do you see that? It's just coming out of that crack in the wall. Right there, not upstream, right there. Man, that's so cool. You know, I bet you could get a stick and have it come down and pour into the pot. We're gonna do that. We're gonna go back and get our cooking pot, and we're gonna see about the quality of this water. If I get sick, I'll be honest, I'll let you know. Look at that water trickling right out of the rock right there. I mean, that is just so cool. What's so cool is that it's like 4 feet off the ground. It's not water bubbling out of the ground. It's not water on the ground. It's water coming out of a wall of rock. I was just looking at the map. I was messaging the wifey my location, because, you know, she's always nervous about where I am, what I'm doing. And I realized how close I am to the interstate. I'll show you guys a picture of the map. But very close to the interstate. And so we're gonna set up a tiny little fire, get that thing ready and going and burned down before we think about dinner. But it's already 9:30 out here. Lots of light, dry stuff all over. Just tons. There's tons of dry branches, but the ground is also moist. The moisture in the ground really prevents a big, dangerous fire spreading. I'm grateful for all of you guys who come along on these adventures with me. These stealth missions are so much fun. And then the 48 Hours Lost missions are really cool. I really try to challenge myself. I have some really cool challenges coming up. Some ones I've been working on, and I'm just so grateful and so thankful for everybody who's come along on the ride with me. But let's get down here. Lint from the dryer. Nothing beats lint to start a fire. It's just such a good fire starter. So we'll move our gloves away, and we will let our little sticks start to catch. Don't need a headlamp anymore. Nothing like starting a fire. Nothing like it. It's gonna burn up like tall for a second. And it's gonna burn down. It turning down. I think that's enough big sticks on it, but we'll see. Let's examine if our pot will fit between these rocks. We need it a bit narrower. So I have an idea for this green branch right here. It's got a little flex to it. And it's overall pretty clean. It's been off the ground, you know. But let's get a nice angle cut. And let's take it while our fire burns down some. We're gonna take this in the pan and go back over to that spring. So I'm gonna stick this stick back in here and see if I can get some water trickling down it somehow. Okay, here we go. Oh yeah, look at there. Oh my gosh, did you see that? So look, Look at how it's pouring off the tip of the stick when I aim it there. Now that's cool. All right. That's cool. If you've been this, oh yes, check that out. And as I suspected, that's clean looking water. If you were out here in an emergency and you wanted fresh drinking water, or as close as you could get to fresh, this is where you would go. This is how you would do it. Everybody in the comments, let me know if you would use this water for cooking. And I do need to constantly look back at my fire. I do see a tiny bit of stuff floating, but I mean, overall, that's probably just dust from on the branch. That does not look like anything clouding the water. And drippy, stick it. Look at that, that's cool. I have a feeling this water would be like very clean. But yeah, we're just gonna hold this here for like a minute or two. But for right now, we're gonna take what water we have back to our fire because I just don't like leaving it alone at all. All right. We're gonna go right to, whoa, starting this water to boil. Gotta be careful with our little rubber handle. We don't want it touching a stone if possible. So now that we're back over here for a while, I can build it up a bit, but you can see that just throwing a few sticks in there gets it going again. Good. Do you hear all those sirens? Really getting that water boiling. We're about to throw in the noodles because it's been boiling for a while, but we're getting hungry. You see that water boiling? Yep. That's definitely boiled off any impurities which we may be coming across. And here's what we're going to put in there. If you have been here before, you know I am a ramen connoisseur. Beautiful ramen, look at that. All right. We're gonna put this fishwife into our soup. Look at that. It's beautiful. So now we only got to let that boil for another minute or two. Just enough to heat the salmon. And then we're going to take it off the heat and let it cool. The noodles have cooked. The salmon has warmed up. Let's see how these taste. Oh, that's good. Oh, that's so good. Man, I got some nasal drip going on from all this pollen and whatnot. That is good, but I'm gonna let them cool some more. I just heard an animal over there. It definitely was an animal. Sounded light on its feet, and it spooked the hell out of me. Oh my gosh, it's perfect. It's perfectly cooled. It's warm. It's tasty. This is kind of crazy, because I hear 2 or 3 noises. Not far off over here. But I've been hearing it consistently right now. So while my noodles were cooling by the fire, I just sat there. I've been sitting there for like 20-30 minutes quietly. And now you can hear the train coming through, but I think that at a certain point the animals just kind of either accepted me here or they forgot I was here, or they're coming out of their dens to do nighttime hunting. I don't know. That way over there is a definite animal moving around. And once that train's passed, which might take a while, we will listen out for them. Here's my bed for the night. And before I climb in, I just want to say, if it isn't the city noise, it's the animal noise that gets you. But we'll get in the tent, we'll call it a night. It's probably around 11:30 or midnight right now, so need to get some sleep so we can have an early exit. It's 2 in the morning, and I keep hearing animals creeping around me, way closer than I thought, and sirens. And that last critter just came right up on me. But my gosh, that scared me. I was about to fall asleep. Oh, good morning. Well, I'm getting up at 7 a.m. My alarm was originally for 6, but animals bugging me, and now we're gonna get up and get out of here. There were little guys, critters, had me freaked out at times, but I eventually got to sleep. It took me so long to get to sleep. Now that I did finally start sleeping, I need to get some more sleep, so I stayed in bed until about 7. It's like 7:10 now. But that also gives me some more light to be able to show you guys what this campsite looks like. So there's the daytime view of my little fire pit. We're gonna clean up a little bit more around it. And this is our little wooded area. That's the cliff that we've been behind that gives us the privacy. It gives us a secluded spot. I really liked it back here. Once you got used to those animals, it was just kind of cool being back in here with them. Next time. That was a fun one. So happy you're with me on this adventure. See you in the next one.